In this video, we will take a look at creating Google Docs, getting them organized with folders, and how we can upload and convert Microsoft Word documents in Google Drive. Let's get started. From within my Drive, navigate to the big red button in the top left corner that says Create. In the drop-down menu, you'll see all the different types of files we can create by default. We can create a folder, a Google Doc, presentation, which is basically like PowerPoint, spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet. We can create a Google form, which is basically a survey that can be set up as a class quiz or test, and a drawing for things like flowcharts. For this video, we'll just create a document. You'll notice Google opens a new tab up at the top and takes me into a word processor, which looks similar to the early versions of Microsoft Word. Now, just like typing in Word, I can start to type a document. I also have similar formatting options like bold, italicize, and underline. I can change the text color. I can change the text size and the font, as well as align right, align left, and center align. I can also make bulleted and numbered lists. So I'll go in here and say these are the things we'll need for this class. I can change the line spacing. I'll make it double. And I can also increase and decrease my indents. I can also find these options in the Format tab in my menu bar. One thing I'd like to point out is really the first thing you should do when you start any new file in Google. In the top left corner of your screen, you'll see that this document is currently untitled. This is left this way by default. So if you create multiple documents without titles, having to find those specific documents in your Drive will be really confusing if they're all labeled Untitled Document. I'd also like to point out that the untitled document I was just working on is listed here in my Drive, but I didn't save the file yet. So how did this get here? I'll click back into my document. Now typically when you're working in Microsoft Word, to save a file, you would have to go to File, and then Save As or Save. If you notice in Google Drive, under File, there is no Save option, because Google automatically saves your document after every edit that you make. And that's consistent within presentations, forms, spreadsheets, and so forth. It's basically fail-safe. Let me demonstrate. I'll type a new line in this document. I'll close the tab for this doc at the top. And now open it back up. And there's my line of text. I'll make another change. Do some more formatting here. And I'll keep it bold. And I'll change the color of it. Make it a little bigger. I'll close this document and reopen it. So you'll see this is how autosave works. I think one day you'll thank Google for this feature in the future, I'm sure. Now let's say I've decided this semester I'm going to move all of my files over to a Google Doc so that I can share them with my students electronically. I plan on doing this for, let's say, 3 classes, so I want to set up folders with each class name to keep my things organized. Back in my Drive, select the Create button again, and this time click Folder. Go ahead and give that folder a name. And hit Create. I'll select my document I was just working on, select Move To, and I'll choose the folder I just created. Click Move. Google notifies me at the top that the file has been moved, and when I click on my folder, there's my document. Now let's say I have a folder on the S drive that has a few Word documents I use in class that I want to upload to Google Drive. I'll click the Upload button next to Create, and you'll see I have an option to upload individual files, or I can upload entire folders. I want to choose which files I upload, so I'll click Files, navigate to the folder, and click Open. Google lets me know when the upload is complete, and I can click on the file name to bring up a preview. If I'd like to make this a working file in Google Drive, all I have to do is right-click the file name, so I'll click out of here. I'll right-click the file name, and then I'll choose Open with Google Docs. Google is now converting this document to an editable file, and I now have full control over this document in Google to make changes. You'll even see that Google created a new document for me back in my drive, and leaves the Microsoft Word document untouched. The editable file is now ready to be shared with your students. In the next video, we will take a look at permissions and sharing settings inside of Google and how you can add and remove editors and commenters within a Google Doc.